Going live, going live. Quick update here. Getting set up. Eternal Arts Mind, finding you. If you can't be here, how can you be anywhere? If you can't be here, how can you be anywhere? So, what's really going on as we are all in a world? But what world are we in? And who really cares what people think? How much that holds us back? Being able to break free from conceptions and everything. We'll go through a little quote. I don't know if I still have it here. But a man who is rooted in freedom, who is always going back to freedom, he will be free as he is free, meaning free inside of our mind. Um, he who thinks he is in bondage will be in bondage. It's finding the art, finding that inside of you. What do you want out of life? This is the biggest question, which is a journey all in itself. And I'm sharing the journey here, doing a little brain dump. First and foremost, doing it for you, embracing your healing journey. We'll get this set up. All right, having some fun here, having some fun going live, being able to put yourself out there. Who cares what people think? Because reality is to rise inside of yourself, to rise, to rise, to rise. What do you want? In a spiritual terms, the truth seekers throughout known history of what we know, of what we can see, these people have wanted truth. These people have wanted freedom, liberation, moksha, yogis, and all spiritual traditions and names that we may have. And to be able to want that more than anything else, to be able to have an attitude that one will not be denied. And first and foremost, doing it for you. So we're doing a little brain dump here, sharing a little bit more about my story as I've been building clarity. Is a lot of things have been happening. So this benefits a lot of younger people to be able to watch, and there's a lot of resources that we have available. And so it's very important to become laser focused, to really realize what you want out of life. Because at the end, we really cannot blame anybody else for our missed opportunities, for things that we didn't do that we felt inside to do. And there's a lot of things going on inside of the world right now. There's a lot of entanglement. This has been taught in different ways. There's a lot of attachment. So there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of people lost. And to really find yourself, to embrace your healing journey, this is the first teaching. This is what this is for, to be able to help other people. 3:36 p.m., which is really nice. We're being very mindful of our time spent, but really, what is reality? I've been having some really unique experiences that have been really forcing me to question reality even more in so many ways. Einstein has proven that uh, we experience time in different ways. So we may have 24 hours in a day, but how we use that, how we perceive that, how we experience that is completely different. And we can't stop the time. We can't stop it. So really finding out what's important for you. You know, this is a big part. This is for younger people. This is also for what we would say is the older generation is too. Those who are really looking for peace. Those who are really, really open. Because as we go through life, we can become stubborn. We can hold on to things. We can hold on to grudges and everything, and that can make us toxic. That can make us unpleasant to be around, to be with. And so this first and foremost help those who may be a little bit younger, maybe a little bit more open. It's not to say this is better than that. That's where we have to really find the peace and embrace our healing journey and understand that we are experiencing reality uh, within inside of ourselves, and to really rid the illusions, to become unaffected. Because if we're unaffected, then there is a lesson, there is a teaching for us. And we can call things names, we can call things toxic. I mean, in reality, right? We can call homes toxic, we can call schools toxic. You know, this is what I experienced growing up. So, pretty much, you know, this is for me first and foremost as I'm developing my message, as I'm developing my story, being able to articulate it in such a way to honestly express and to touch people with proper rhetoric. Um, you know, growing up, I felt a lot of things, very empathetic, very an empath, as we would say, sensitive, but that's no excuse. We have to take it as a blessing, hopefully, and to be able to rise to the occasion, to see the gifts and to develop ourselves in such a way where we're not affected by anybody else's choice in life. And we are focused upon our destination, our direction in life. And, you know, so a basic concept of that is I've always had intelligence, I've had this, I've had that, I've had potential, just like we all have potential. We all have potential, but we don't all actualize that potential and to really do it. So it's very difficult for me to focus, to be in a good mental state growing up in school, um, and you know, embrace our own healing journey, finding that inside of ourselves. A big part of that, you know, we can call toxicity, we can call this, we can call that, but really not being affected by that. You know, a big part of that is when people are somewhere where they don't want to be. They're fighting themselves. It creates this friction inside, and that can, you know. So how do we heal that inside of ourselves? How do we heal that vibration inside of ourselves and become the change that we so wish to see? The teaching here is that if you can't be here, then where can you be? If you can't be here, then where can you be? So first and foremost, we really have to be here, but where is here? And to find that inside of ourselves. So as we begin the meditation practice, we start to notice how chaotic it is inside of ourselves. And this is what's going on inside the world. So we can look at the world and we can say, oh, the world is so chaotic, the world is so toxic. But the way we experience the world is what's inside of us. It's a tool, it's a mirror, it's a reflection. So, how do we use that tool? How do we use that reflection? How do we embrace our healing journey to take care of any insecurities or anything inside of us that may be holding us back from fully living life? And so, a big understanding growing up, me to share my experiences and to help other people kind of realize quicker for themselves than I did, hopefully. Um, there's clues, but we have to figure it out on ourselves. Um, what's really going on, of what is really real, what is really real, what is really going on. As our brain is developing, we don't necessarily have the neurological pathways that connect us with our actions and our consequences. So there is a part of learning through our experience. And the trick is being able to develop the wisdom so that you can still have youth, and be wise, because that's the blessing. I really feel that I'm kind of made for older age in ways as an old soul, um, because I'm kind of, as one would say, a late bloomer, or what have you, as I've been trying to walk my own path in life. I've tried to do the traditional route, go to school and everything, try to get jobs and all that. As much as I'd love to fit in, as much as I'd love to have a normal life, it's just not my path. I've had to blaze my own path, create my own path in life. And so now I'm here to be able to show and to share other people to do that for themselves as well too. So first we have to really unattach and untangle ourselves in thinking that we need to follow what everybody else is doing. The spiritual path is of transcendence, of being able to transcend what you find outside of yourself, the situation, and everything, and really embracing your healing journey, um, and getting out of this mentality that can proliferate toxicity in your life, to be able to take care of that inside of yourself so that you are unaffected and you no longer attract that inside of your life and inside of your reality. And looking at it as a teaching, as a challenge, as training, preparing yourself, um, making sure that you're in a good mental state, making sure that you're hopeful, making sure that you're positive and optimistic about your future, because that can be a dangerous place to be when you're not in that space. When you don't feel hopeful, when you don't feel optimistic, depression and all that. It's an energy, and it can be very dense. It can be very dark. It can be very draining, and it's not necessarily the best place to be. So what I've been learning throughout the years is how to snap out of that. How to snap out of that. Big part of kind of how it's been is really finding the refuge inside of myself, retreating, going out inside the world, um, doing as much as I can handle, and then going back inside myself. And it's quite amazing how much I can shift it, um, and really how much I'm unaffected by it now, because I've been very affected by it in the past. And, people are going to attack. And those people who attack have trust issues. Those people who attack have control issues, um, which stem from insecurities inside of oneself. So the more that we kind of feed that energy, then we are giving our power away. So the thing is to embrace your healing journey and to be able to understand that as I develop and as I build, heal all those insecurities inside of myself and unaffected, then I can be in my own place. There's some beautiful stories we're building here, sharing the personal development journey that I've been on for many, many years now. There's so many great resources, but ultimately, who are you? You have to find you. You have to find your own meditation, um, because you have to live your own life. And it's easy to repeat something that one may have spoken, but to really find the wisdom, the knowledge in the moment that is most applicable. And even then, to take it to another level where you can bring forth things that have not been conceived and manifested in reality in your world, understandings, experiences. This is the key thing of staying out of competition, of trying to compete with everybody. Are we going to be crabs fighting to try to get free, or are we going to be kind to each other? Are we going to embrace our healing journey and understand that In reality, we all want the same thing, and it's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to have each other. Like, we need each other in a lot of different ways. One hand feeds the other. And the more that we work together, the easier it really is. This world is abundant, and there is really no such thing as world hunger. That's just, what is that? Because we have more than enough. We have plenty. There's things inside of us to be able to heal and to overcome, so that we can really share. So I just wanted to kind of get on here, share a little bit about my story, and to connect with people who uh, feel something, who want to work with me and everything, as we're building our online presence, and being present, and um, getting the message out there. That meditation has saved my life. Meditation is important for you to be in this moment, not to worry about going here, going there. I've tried to run away from myself so much, and this is just what we're all doing in so many different ways, of embracing the uncomfortableness so that we can be more comfortable inside of ourselves. Pain is an interesting thing. We're learning more about pain, and there might be a lot of pain inside of us. So what is this pain? What is the teaching? What can we learn from this? How can we heal? How can we be more compassionate towards ourselves, towards others? Um, whether you agree or whether you disagree, the more that you're disagreeing with your experience, the more suffering and the more pain you are inviting inside of your realities. So I say, embrace your healing journey, and embrace compassion, and embrace openness, to be able to grow as an individual here. Nobody here is necessarily perfect, right? That's why we're here. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. It's kind of a university, a school on itself, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And there is great understanding and teaching as a student. I mean, there's a lot of things for me to share, but we have to take it in steps. And as I've been looking at everything, and being more mindful of everything, to be able to build something, to be able to build systems. One of my questions is, what's the answer? Um, I'm here sharing my healing journey. So that takes opening up. The ultimate courage is complete vulnerability. I have nothing to hide, but as well too, I have my own private life. I'm not here to just throw myself completely out there, and you what's going to happen. We have to understand that we have been very unkind to ourselves, and to each other. There's great teachings. We're not here to get into religion necessarily, but there's things we can learn from everything. There's a lot of talk about Jesus, even though Jesus in itself was a very common name, but in particular, people talk about Jesus Christ and everything, and you can say this and you can say that. This isn't to get into one's personal belief. Everything is a teaching, but that's a teaching. You know, uh, whether it happened, whether it didn't happen, what is the teaching of a crucifixion? The reality is that that's like, he's showing what we're all doing to each other without even realizing, on a very deep spiritual, mental, energetic, emotional level. We're all entangled, and we're all hurting ourselves and hurting each other. Um, so this is a teaching. And it's a teaching. It's not to say that we are sinful or anything. We need to let go of this making each other guilty because of insecurities or whatever inside of ourselves. And we're here to talk about things that may be uncomfortable, but it's not about a personal belief. This is sort of a sad song in a way. It's just in the moment, and I'm just getting some things out there. Um, I'm not telling you what to believe in or anything. We really have to find that for ourselves. what is the reason why wisdom has been kind of kept in riddles and different sayings that not everybody gets. Uh, it can be misused, it can be abused, um, and so that's why I say embrace your healing journey. It begins with the intent to heal, to really look inside of yourself and to stop blaming, to stop deflecting all this stuff because there's a lot of cleanup. And I understand that there are younger generations, there are younger kids and everything who do want to get their life in order. Um, so we can finish up with maybe a story about this, a story about me, story about other people as well too. This isn't to get into name calling or anything. We are where we are, and things do happen for a reason. And as we uncover those reasons and everything, we can change directions, we can learn, we can bring forth blessings inside of our lives. Um, there's toxic environments. That's a name, that's a word. How do we overcome that inside of ourselves? But how do we deal with people who maybe they're a part of our life and they may not be the most positive. They may not be the most, I guess, the way you can describe it in a kind manner, without putting down or anything, is really like we all have a choice in life. Things are really changing dramatically in a lot of different ways. Um, and so there's a lot of people who may disagree with other people. Um, but we all have our own life. We all have our own choices in life, and not everyone respects that. And so, how do we deal with like, because this is a big, 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 big theme. How do we deal with like parents and teachers and siblings and just everybody in our life? Because when we're lost outside of ourselves, we think we know better for other people than themselves. We're trying to live our life out of other people when we're very lost, when we're very insecure, when we have a very immature mind and a hurt heart. Uh, so I say embrace your healing journey, and self love is the ultimate protection to be able to protect yourself and to understand to be building hope and to build a positive environment that is more conducive to actualizing your potential and not allowing other people to degrade you and to bury you pretty much. I mean, it gets really, really deep when you look at history, you study history, and you look at this type of stuff. Um, is it just some fantasy child book that you just read in a book, or are you able to put that inside of yourself and understand, okay, like just as much as I'm experiencing this reality, like somebody experienced that. There's slavery is a big theme, and it's not to get into blaming or anything. It's just understanding science, psychology identifies this instinctive sense of control in a human being, which, for various reasons, masking up insecurities or just because it's a quick fix of feeling this sense of power or this sense of elevated esteem. But is it really true self-esteem? Um, or does one just get burned in the end anyways? Because building a good life really requires working together, getting out of your element, getting out of your bubble of always thinking about yourself, becoming more compassionate. And so I don't necessarily call people abusive. Um, Most of the time, it's unconscious and people don't know they don't know what they're doing. And so they may have abusive behavior, they may have abusive energy and everything. But I don't necessarily think that people in themselves are abusive. Now, there are some people who are really well aware of what they are doing and intentionally being abusive. But I think most people are unconscious and they haven't really sat down and thought about what they want in life. So that's the biggest thing is really what do you want in life? Because as some say, we get what we ask for, we get what we look for. So whether you're looking for your next meal or you're looking to fulfill your dreams, um, the universe, the brain, the reality, it doesn't know the difference, right? Whatever we tell ourselves, the brain doesn't know the difference between what is fake and what is real. So it's very important to be kind to yourself and to have hope and to know that this is not the end. Life continues, life will continue on, and to be a part of that life that continues. Um, there are a lot of changes here, so that's what we have. Is we have the online temple, daily temple service, um, twice a day, 6 days a week, and that's just a beautiful place to be able to put yourself in kind of a digital online environment that is more conducive to actualizing your potential, to you journeying inside, feeling safe inside yourself, so that you can be more at peace inside of you. Um, because there can be a lot of triggers in our environment, and so we also have retreats in Puerto Rico, and we have more Mito product as well too to help restore cellular energy. This is a really a cutting edge place where science is going. So it's kind of like Wayne Gretzky. You don't necessarily focus where the puck is. You want to focus where the puck is going, and this is where science is going. This is where to be able to study the mitochondria and the cellular energy and the cellular structure. There's a lot of beautiful things that we're learning as I'm sharing kind of the personal development journey that I've been on. Bruce Lipton has brought forth some amazing, amazing insight, knowledge, wisdom through his work. Um, Understanding that the DNA is not necessarily our destiny. DNA is not necessarily the control room. It's not like where we get necessarily the instructions. Our environment has deep influence on us in very different ways. That's what he found at the University of Madison through his research and his work and everything. So he's brought forth some absolutely game changing work that helps us really look at the world completely different. We're not stuck in our genes. We're not stuck with whatever our parents have done. We can transcend that. We can heal our ancestral wounds and to be able to create a new reality and to go in a new direction in life. We're not susceptible to any particular diseases. What we've been discovering in science is very clear that lifestyle choices play the biggest role in those types of things. So that's very important. We're going to be getting into eating. Meditation is very important. That's what I am seeking to position myself as the go-to meditation master, world-renowned teacher that everybody comes to, and yoga. Um, and I love cooking as well too. Um, I pretty much grew up in a restaurant, and I'm like bake my own pizzas and make my own food, hang out with the cook and the bartenders and such. Um, so like I've always kind of been in the kitchen. I love that. And I'm developing my own way of cooking and eating, enjoying food. Um, we've acquired certain tastes, as we would say, um, habits of eating. What is really necessary, what is really true. Why does somebody like a hamburger? There's a certain desire, there's a certain temptation that has been created, and a lot of it is just unconscious that we don't really question it. And it may not be the best for us, for our body, for our minds as well too. And as they say, our second brain is in our gut, and so the serotonin and all that um, is in the gut. And so to have a clear mind and not be brain fogged and to be able to focus and concentrate, it is essential to have proper nutrition, to have a clean gut. And there's how to get out of a deficit, how to get out of a weight deficit, how to get out of a financial deficit. It takes a completely different mindset, and you also have to understand that you have to play catch up in a way as well too, where the hardest pound to lose is the first pound, and the first hardest 5 pounds is the first 5 pounds. That first step to be able to take, and there's been a certain momentum in a particular way, so you have to create a stronger momentum in another direction, and so you have to really stick with that persistence to be able to tip the tide. Um, and so I got some videos of the cooking and everything, and it's just something very, very simple where anybody can really do. I've done a lot of different experiments in my life where I've fasted for a lot, and I've had times where I've only ate rice and very, very simple and everything. I don't necessarily suggest that I studied microbiotic diet, and there's particular protocols for that. Rice can be very, very healing. Anything can be really, really healing. Um, but rice is you know, um, there are different things, it's a starch and carbohydrates and everything. Um, Especially if you don't properly chew it, um, then it becomes a lot more harmful to the body. So it takes, you know, a right state to be able to chew your food very well. That's kind of part of a meditation as well too. Having some rice and being able to chew at least 50 to 100 times. And that's just different exercises that one can do when you're counting instead of chopping down your food or everything. That's another just concept right there. Being able to eat in a peaceful state, not anxious, not worried, not consuming stress. But so oftentimes we think we need this, we think we need that, but really we're just eating out of pleasure, we're just eating out of habit, and instead of eating to nourish the body. And there's the teachings with that too. Um, it can be very, very, very healing. I work with farmers, helped out at the farmers market. I mean, we made soup. I've made soup. Oh man, I've I got to go to the farm, and that was like just beautiful, you know. And I would make product and food and stuff and bring it to the market. When I would, I, I I got really, really deep in the ceremony inside of myself. I stayed up all night one time before a market, and I made the most amazing healing soup that was just, man, it was, it's just something different than just the five tastes than like, connected to the mind. Um, it just helped you feel really, really, really good. So eating healing is very beneficial, and to really not get caught up in trying to go so fast, so to speak. Is more clarity, being results oriented, goal oriented, some experiencing new things. It's like what we focus on. Like it's already there, it's already done, um, and so we are that. And so a lot of times we're just unconscious, and we're pretty much dreaming of failure. So you are that you are. Like a winner is a winner. To win, you have to be a winner. So you have to start to build the mindset and the belief inside of yourself that you are a winner, that things work out for you, and that you are successful. To be successful, you have to be successful. To succeed, you have to be successful. So, and to do all those types of things, um, you have to be in the moment. And to finish this off here, um, is that you know there are people who may be successful and they don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are conscious, they're aware. And so they may be, I'm not saying anybody in particular, I'm just saying that, well, we take things personally too much. But this is widespread. Like, this is huge. Like, most people don't take the healing journey as seriously I have. It takes a tipping point of when is enough enough. There are a lot of misfortune that has followed me throughout my life, that I've had to face death many times. Like, I have literally died multiple times and come back. I don't care what you think. I know what I experienced. A lot of people like to deny that, but that's just like a form of gaslighting. Like, you cannot deny my experience if you have not experienced what I've experienced. So don't tell me that I didn't die when I know dang well that I was fucking long gone from this world. And I've come back. Like, I've done it a lot of different times. Car accidents, drug overdoses. Like, it's a miracle to be here. It's a miracle to be here. And so, when is enough for you? When we take life so so the ending of this teaching is really, you know, we all have value. So finding the value in everything to be able to embrace your healing journey and to grow and to continue on and to become one of value. This has been one of my main intentions for myself, is to be a man of value. When I first read that quote from Einstein, I was like, sign me up. I want to be a man of value. And so that's kind of been one of my biggest things, is like, don't make me a problem. And I used to get affected by that. I used to get like, because people would try to make me into a problem. I'm not your problem, you know. I seek to be a man of value. So how can I help you? Otherwise, go create trouble elsewhere, because I'm not trouble. I don't want trouble in my life. I'm embracing my healing journey to not have a troublesome life. But the part is being the change. So raising your consciousness however you want to raise it, you know, and that comes with your desire. As the desire for enlightenment is the desire for full and awakening, is that a desire in itself? Yes. But it's when one holds on to it, attachment, that can create suffering. Being agile, being able to move. And so it all depends upon what you want and understanding that people are there to help you. The world is here to serve you, to help you, so much as you are here to help and serve the world. We're here to help each other. But just because somebody may sound like they know what they're talking about doesn't mean that they're conscious, doesn't mean that they know the inner workings of it. As some would talk about, you don't necessarily need to know how the light works, so to speak. You just need to flip the switch. So you don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to become fully conscious. Um, but it's all about you and understanding, though, that if you're wanting to be successful, but you're in a confused state of mind, you're going to be creating more friction and more chaos inside of your life. So there is a part of becoming conscious, of making things more conscious, so you can become aware of what you are doing, what you are attracting inside of your life, the lessons, the teachings, and everything to help you move forward. So we got a little live here, and now we're marking this off, and we're sharing building internal arts mind, the way of success. It's the art of you finding that inside of you, being the change inside of your life. I am Master Shane. Who is Master Shane? Well, somebody with a lot of love and a lot of compassion, a lot of heart. And so I'm here to help. Consultations, training programs, we're getting that out there. 'Cause it's here. It's here. It's a beautiful thing. Um, it's a beautiful thing. And to be able to get into the right state, to learn meditation. If you're not here, where else can you be? Where else are you? What is reality? Because that's the journey that I've been on, is really understanding the nature of reality. And so we can get into all this small talk. Just to finish this up here, I don't want to go anymore. Um, there's a lot of small talk. There's a lot of just personal opinion of what people prefer or what people think, and um, it's really it's okay. First, seek the truth inside of you. First, really seek the nature of reality, the inner workings of reality, um, rather than just getting in fights and banging your head against the wall. Saying like this is that and this is that. It is what it is. Whatever you choose, however you choose, depending upon the programming inside of the subconscious mind. Like, what is the nature of reality? Okay, like we can't talk about anything else until we talk about the nature of reality. We can't understand anything else until we understand the nature of reality. That's pretty much how it is. This isn't about religion, that this isn't about a personal belief. This is about a universal truth. This is about laws that we are all governed by. That's a deep, deep teaching. So it's understanding these laws, and that's what a lot of people have done to become successful in personal development. Is that maybe they studied wisdom and different things that is contained within different religions, that they looked for the universal truth. They didn't get stuck in the particular religions, and what they were looking for and what they were studying were the laws that govern everybody and everything in this reality, in this universe. It's along the lines of science, which is good. You just got to be careful that the belief that there is no purpose, that you don't fall in apathy and proliferate this this depressed energy, because that is like the most limiting and depressed belief to exist, and it can be very ignorant, and you don't think that it's a belief. But the belief that life has no purpose is a belief in itself. um, and whether you believe that or not, whether you agree or not, then create a purpose, create a meaning. Because what is life without meaning? What is life without purpose? Like, maybe it is a blank slate, and we're here to create meaning and purpose. purpose, but the more meaning, the more purpose that you have, the quicker you're going to move. Broader vision that you have, and the more determined and drive that you have, the quicker, the higher frequency you're going to vibe. So those are some insights here, just sharing and building the movement, getting this all systematized so that we can really reach the masses. That's what here to open myself up, being vulnerable. That's one of the things that I'm here learning is um, I have been learning to be more intentional, and now I feel like I'm being taught to change my intention. And this goes along the lines of looking for money. We all have bills to pay, but we make money when we are of service. It's a tool. So changing my intention of just really being more broad in my intention and just reaching the masses and helping millions and millions of people. Um, so, like this, help out, comment, share it. Social media is us. Like, we are social media. Um, and we feed each other. And so, like, what are you breathing life into? Hopefully things that help you feel good inside, things that help you move forward and bring forth understanding and knowledge so that you can better navigate reality and bring forth the life you truly wish and desire so that you can be happy, because we all deserve to be happy. Um, so what's going on with that? What's going on with that? Why are we trying to fight so much each other? And trying to like take each other's happiness? How do we find that happiness inside of us to be able to be happy no matter what? So this is good for now. Hope you enjoy, and many blessings. We have temple service 6 days a week, donation based. Um, Built that up here. We're having some fun, getting good at web development, and be getting those links and everything. Because we all, there's so many things. So making things simple for you and making movement. So as I say, massive action is really the answer. That which is in motion tends to stay in motion. So getting in motion, and that's what I'm doing, is just pushing as much as I can, and embracing our healing journey, and not making excuses, not making excuses, because I used to make a lot of excuses. Um, and it is what it is. Wherever you are is wherever you are, and finding the challenge and the teaching and being able to be at peace anywhere in the midst of chaos or anything. It can be easy, very, very easy. This is what my big childhood dream here is, to build temples and to help people feel more at peace inside of themselves. But the big thing is to be able to go outside the world, be able to go in the marketplace, and to hold that peace inside of yourself. That's been my training throughout the years. And it's absolutely incredible um, progress that I've made. Um, so I mean, it can be anybody can feel peace in the temple, which is good, which can help, especially people who don't necessarily feel that often, who are unconscious how toxic they are really being, how harmful and abusive they are being. I'm not calling them abusive, but how abusive that they are. And the reality is it's just a deep teaching for all of us, because we're all or we've all been very, very abusive to ourselves and to each other. So the true test is to be that light anywhere, to be that peace in the middle of New York, or any metro where there's just so much entanglement and things going on, and to stay present, and to not take on all of that opinion and what have you, being present. So building your spiritual practices is what I help with. Uh, Saved my life. Don't take anything for granted. Life can change in the blink of an eye. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows when our time is up? Live every day as your last.